Benjamin Sesko, here we go. Or the Orny dagger, whichever one you want to use is up to you, with agreement in principle with a medical already, and it's Thursday. I predicted Friday, but earlier better than never, right? Smash the likes, subscribe if you're brand new. You must have a smile on your face if you're watching this video, so why would you not want to watch this video and like it and get gassed? Because we have got a lamppost up front, a fast, rapid lamppost with some tidy feet. What more can you ask for? Maybe a bit of finishing, but bar that, smash the likes. Now, David Ornstein exclusive, he got it there first, and he has said that Manchester United strike agreement in principle with RB Leipzig to sign Benjamin Sesko. Deal for 22-year-old, 76.5 million euros plus 8.5 million euros, and he's got given permission to fly. So altogether, that smells like a 85 million euro deal, meaning it's about 75 million pounds. You lot do the conversion rates. You know, it depends where you are in the world and what sites you use. I have no idea. But look, it's exciting times at Manchester United right now. You can't deny that. Amazing. You know, we've got Mbumo through the door. We had Cunha, of course, as our first signing. And now we've got the lamppost, the Slovenian one, up top to hopefully not be, you know, Rasmus Højlund 2.0. Definitely different players and different situations. I'm eager because it looks like he's going to be a part of the match day one against Arsenal. And what a better way than to dunk against Arteta's #1 striker this summer. And of course, they went with Berta's #1, and which was our #1. Could backfire. Gyökeres could score against us. Doubt it. But look, there's a lot of element in Sesko's game that you can like, you know, that you can get behind and that you can be optimistic about, right? Considering, you know, it come out even earlier through Ben Jacobs that actually we all thought that Ollie Watkins was Amrim's preferred striker. No, it was Amrim that was hammering down to the board that Benjamin Sesko fits exactly what he wants, and Vivell backed that idea and was pretty much the guy that, you know, egged it on to go and get that deal done. And that's why they decided, this is what I'm going to go for. This is the man to lead the line to Manchester United's glory days, right? Whether that happens, yet to be seen. But if you're building towards Omar Barada's plan of 2028 in terms of competing, winning leagues, Champions Leagues and stuff like that, then he could be that guy in the next 3 years. Hopefully a lot sooner than that, of course. We're building something. You know, there's a lot of Belabor news. We spoke heavily about that on the earlier stream. And then now we've got the Sesko news, you know, and then that saga's coming to an end. You know, there's a lot of different reportings about different fees for different clubs and how things are structured. Well, no one's really going to know, right? And that's going to come out later down the line about how things are structured. If it's over 4 terms or 5 terms, who knows? But it seemed very favorable. It didn't exactly come across as the discounted price that I thought would be, you know, the surprise in all of this. You know, I thought we could get something done as a special club for, I don't know, 65 million plus 10, not the other way around where it's like, okay, you just paid exactly what they wanted. They had the whole, you know, bidding war. You know, Leipzig played this exactly how they wanted it, and they got what they wanted. And it's good that United are doing well in negotiations compared to previous regimes, you could say. I mean, when you think about it, 76 million is about 65 million. So yeah, you know what? Maybe we did get the discount. Maybe I'm wrong on that part. But what we haven't had in such a long time, which I'm more excited for, is someone that can hold up the ball effectively, flick-ons, defending crosses, attacking crosses. You know, not just Casemiro and hoping for the best. You know, I feel like with us, there's just another way of attacking that on paper sounds amazing, right? For me, he does need to hit the ground running to get most of the fan base on side, because I don't feel like within our fan base online is super toxic, and I can't stand that. And I don't really want to put lots of pressure on him, but you will be leading the line, right? It won't be Rasmus Højlund. But for some reason, I'm very calm about it compared to pretty much previous games and previous players. There's something about Man United that I feel so calm. Maybe it's because we did change up the whole attack And we have seen evidently in pre-season that there's a new way of playing coming from a team that is known for pressing as well. Similar system, Leipzig have known to play a bit more of a 4-4-2 out of possession. In possession, sometimes looks like a 4-4-1, but also a 3-4-2-1. The likes of a Pender and Sesko playing on more off the left or sometimes more off the right. If you watch Bundesliga, you would know this factually. So, on that notice, go do your research if you don't believe me. But running in behind is something that we haven't seen in such a long time effectively at that, because we see Højlund do it. But making situations out of nothing, strikers that can create for themselves, I feel like Sesko definitely has that in his locker. But refining that is going to take some time. It'd be nice if he does score against Arsenal, but it's nice if he gets a couple goals against Fulham. My expectations might be a little bit different from everybody else's. But my whole thing is how does he perform for the team? I'm not really fussed about individual stats in his first season, of course. I mean, it would be nice that if you did spend all that money that we thought we didn't have, and you go on, you at least go and get at least 10 plus Premier League goals. That would be nice. But it's more, how do you bring everyone else into the game? How do you perform for the team? The individuality of this whole team for the last how many years is nothing me short of shocking, right? There's a lot of individual brilliant moments, and that's gotten us over the line, but that's never been sustainable. Now, when I think of Sesko, I think of him as a team player. You look at him in certain areas where he can shoot, but I'd rather square the ball to the next best option, right? Sometimes, shot selection can be a little bit off, but he's always trying to do the most for the team. And I like that about a player. The unselfishness, but in the same breath, you're a striker, be selfish. Get some more shots off. You've definitely got that ball striking ability and that technique that I've seen from the likes of, let's say, Marcus Rashford, where once that's getting let off, it's going to cause havoc. So, again, I feel like, how is he going to fit with us? Is he going to bring in Bumo into the game? Is he going to bring Cunha into the game? Is he going to bring the likes of Bruno Fernandes when he decides to crash the box? The whole answer is yes. You can see why Arsenal wanted him in the first place and Arteta, but a little bit too young, a little bit too soon for the likes of Arsenal who are trying to win a league, right? Unless you're willing and you're so adamant that this is going to be the game changer that's going to go and win you the title. So that's exactly why I think Berto went for the more experienced striker, and I still agree with what they did. United need maybe someone more proven now, like your Ollie Watkins, who is my first choice, but you can gamble on a project. So I don't think you should have done that, but I'm going to get behind it. Look, it's happened now. We're not getting no Watkins. We're not getting no 29, 27-year-old, no more Matetas. My whole thing is, look, the guy's landed. He's a young kid. Let's give him 18 months, 2 years. Same thing we're going to have to be done with Højlund. In the same respect, let's see what Xerxes can also offer. They can play with each other. And, let's see how he lands. Because United are just, for me, with Ineos, they're targeting the correct player after player after player. There's a lot of dibby-dabbling about certain players that we brought into the club recently, but like Agate's, but I still feel there's use for him. Every player that Ineos are identifying, I can get behind. We got told we get Nicholas Jackson getting bantered by rivals just to end up with Sesko. And just to have the last laugh, they still want 80 million for the likes of a Jackson. We need to be thankful that we don't have the old regime in place, because we would have probably bought Jackson in the end for silly money, and would have been absolutely fuming, and a Dominic Calvert-Lewin bantered all summer about Dominic Calvert-Lewins and the free market. Oh, United might not have enough funds. We need the sales before this happens. No one actually knows what's going on inside Man United's doors. It's all zipped. So it's good. I'm very optimistic. Having a front, going changing from a front three of Garnacho, I can't stop saying it. Garnacho is our only outlet. Højlund and the Mason Mount / whoever you want to put there is night and day, 10, 15, 20 times better than what we're going to expect. Just players with just IQ alone, attributes like speed, attributes like ball carrying, attributes like holding up the ball effectively with a good first touch. I mean, Sesko's first touch could be better, but it's definitely nowhere near the worst. Again, I just feel like it's a recipe that's going to mix very well, and that we can definitely get behind, and we can definitely go back to Old Trafford for some of us who was going very frequently. And say, I'm probably going to see something today more than less. Let's see if we can get this central mid in behind all of this. We've got 24 days of the window left. We've got outgoing still to go. it's time to be optimistic, lads, and Ladettes and Broccoli's. We got so much to go, and I feel like it's not ending here as yet. Right now, as we speak, on the 7th of August at 3 o'clock. So here we go. Bomber. Rate this signing individually out of 10. And what do you expect from a Sesko? Many of you really wanted him over Watkins. So what do you expect from him? What are your expectations? And what do you define as a good season? There's lots of different things. Was he overpriced or was he overvalued? Let me know in the comments. Smash the likes. And definitely, I can't wait. You know what? Seeing him, I think he's going to pick number 14. We'll see. In a bit, thank you very much and love.